a new morning, when the darkness will disappear and the ghostly night will no more trouble humanity. As I said the other day, the song Comfortable Do transformed into the French Cocorico is now creating a promising atmosphere for looking quite hopefully towards the east. Beginning with the English of both, Eliot is now looking for quintessential image of water. When I say quintessential, I mean that each drop of water is the water of Ganga.
Yes, sir.
This is not for any Oriental supremacy. This indeed is the quintessential perception about water. A drop from King or a drop from Ganga makes no difference. They are the same. Because quintessentially, they promise two things. One, revival, the other, baptism. Both Christian as well as existential metaphors merged in this idea of a drop of water. And since there was a tendency to look towards the east, the poet finds Ganga. Noticeably, he uses the word Ganga, which has a Sanskrit connotation. It is not English Ganges. Ganga was sunken, and the leaves waited for rain, while the black clouds gathered for a far distance over Himavanta. The jungle crouched, humped in silence, then broke the thunder. Ganga was sunken. The infinite subterranean flow of quintessential water reviving the dying humanity. It suitably painted in the image of Ganga as sunken. And the leaves we have seen on the bank of Thames, which plunged into the dry, sandy bed, which was wet at that time, is now waiting for growth, for revival. Ganga was sunken, and the leaves waited for rain. They were already there on the bank of Thames earlier, we have seen. They were waiting for the rain to fall. With a black cloud, and there is another promise that there is a black cloud. The sky is not cloudless. The black cloud gathered far distant over Himavanta. This is another Sanskritized, typical Oriental name for the Himalaya. This is also ice. So this is ice-covered or ice-capped Himalaya. So over the hilltops of Himalaya, there are dark clouds moving around, waiting to burst, waiting to pour in huge amount of water, which will revive all those leaves waiting for the rain. So Ganga was sunken, the leaves waited for rain, while the black clouds gathered far distant, far away, over the snow-capped hills of Himalaya, the ranges, the jungle crouch, humped in silence. The two words are very significant. Then spoke the thunder. Water, cloud, clashing against each other in the open sky, promising a burst. with a lightning, with a thunder. There is enough evidence of the fast approaching source of revival, water going to pour down. But before the water pours down, there is an oracular voice heard, and the oracle comes to the voice of the thunder. Maybe because Eliot has been waiting for the voice of the thunder to say something. And what the thunder said is to be understood, is to be analyzed in the present context, is to be interpreted in terms of human suffering and craving for salvation. You know, the myth is related with the Upanishad, particularly Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, part 5. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there is a physical transaction that took place between the Prajapati, who is the creator of this universe. Remember, we have perceptions that probably Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, the Trinity of Indian godhood, they are the gods. In fact, they are not the gods. The creator is supreme, and these are in fact the faces that delineate different duties. Neither Brahma nor Vishnu nor Mahesh, they are performing different duties. In fact, the Prajapati, in fact, was the creator of this universe, was far above. So when Prajapati created this universe, delivered lessons of life to his disciples and children, he had created gods, he had created men, that is humans, and he had also created the demons. Three types of creation. That's why I told you, gods were also created by the Prajapati. So the three gods, demons, and humans assembled after their lessons were over. They assembled before Prajapati to get the final message. What do you want to say? The Prajapati said. Thrice he said the same sound, da, da, da. And these three met the Prajapati one after other. They never met together. Had they met together, they might have shared the meaning, but they could not. They met one after the other. So the gods met first in the hierarchy, the gods, then humans, then the demons. That is in fact the hierarchy. The lowest step is there for the demons. So first met the gods, then the humans, then the demons, and every time the Prajapati uttered only one sound, da. So they derived different meanings out of the same word, da, D-A. The gods felt that this is for us a question of daya. Therefore, probably daya, because gods were powerful enough. So probably our Father, our Maker, has suggested us to have compassion for the rest of this universe. Compassion, daya. So for God, the word da has this meaning, daya, which is written in the Upanishad as dayasvam. Dayasvam. Then came the humans. They derived this meaning. Da means probably, da means give, donate, have charity, give charity. So for humans, it was a matter of charity or giving, that we should give, not only take. Because taking is not love. Giving is real. Therefore, the essence was derived by the humans that they have been advised to give. And then came the demons, who also heard the same sound, da. So they believe that it is a matter of damyatam. Damya, da is what? Damya. That means crush. control, sympathize, be compassionate. There are three words now. One is Dayatman, the other is Datta. Datta means gift. And the third is Damyatam, crush, control, restraint, because you are demon. So the hierarchy has been reversed in the modern wasteland. In the Upanishad, the hierarchy was like God, human, demon. Here, Arius has reversed the hierarchy. He has put men first, God next, and then finally comes men first, the demons next, and the third is God. Why has he done so? That's a very important perception which needs our critical attention. God, man, demon. This is the central focus is on man. Because in the Upanishadic hierarchy, God and men and demons were separate entities. Here in the typical modern world, the God and the demon both are living in man. Did you get it? Yes. The God and the demon both live together in the man. So man occupies the position in a way. Therefore, this is the meaning. The meaning is that the message that Prajapati gave separately to the three gods, demons and men, they are not to be practiced separately because they receive separate messages and they practiced accordingly. But man has to practice all these things. Man has to practice all these things. Earlier when the message was given, God took one meaning, demon took another meaning, humans took another meaning, and they practiced only those things, not all. So we have to think of Datta Dayatman Damyatam. We have to be compassionate. We have to crush ourselves, control ourselves, restrain ourselves. Okay? And we have also to give. This is how the relevance of Upanishad has been modulated a little here in the context of the wasteland. Let us see how the three words have been interpreted not in meaning but in different images to different myths, which has been the practice of Arius. Arius gives an idea, but he never analyzes the idea. He creates a mythical situation through which you understand it. And then he creates a contrasting situation through which you contrast it. Pattern goes on. So the first word is Datta. So the word is put. If you look at the word is put as Datta, and the lines that follow in that section present a typical modern image. Datta is a word from Upanishad. It is antiquity, it is tradition, it is life, it is virtue, it is value, everything. But here, the description is typical modern. What exactly are we giving each other? Because the word Datta is gift. The message from Upanishad has to be examined in the context of the wasteland, and then this is the condition that prevails, and this is the meaning that emerges. What are we giving each other? Are we giving love? Or are we exchanging hatred? That's the question. And everybody is free to interpret in his own way, because everybody is a man, is a demon, and is a God together. So that is our predicament, that we are sharing all those hierarchies together. The God and the demon both are inside us. Let us see what Arius says about that. There is an onomatopoeic repetitive tonality, musicality in the word Da that the Creator pronounced. Da, onomatopoeic. It's a kind of representation of the voice of the thunder, because the thunder will also come with it's like it's a high sounding voice that engulfs everything. And do you know, when the message was given by the Lord, and the three departed, but the three finally assembled. Every time they wanted to share their experience with the Lord, he said, okay, you have understood it right. So he said, it's a very comprehensive, typical Oriental term, which assimilates all religions, everything, all sounds, the whole creation. So that is, as in Islam, we say Ameen, it's like Om. It's a fantasy. The entire sense of consciousness is joined together, and therefore, every time they met the Lord, they said, okay, Om, that means that is the whole. So they took separately as it is the whole of it. But for humanity, it is not the whole of it, it's a part of it. And since until unless you join the parts together, we cannot have the whole of it. Therefore, ADH presents the predicament of modern life, modern man, that you have to complete yourself by practicing all the three that are from. That's the thing. And look at the discussion. What have we given? My friend, what have we given? My friend, blood shaking my heart, the awful daring of a moment's surrender, which an age of prudence can never retract. By this and this only, we have existed, which is not to be found in our obituaries or in memories raped by the beneficent spider or under seals broken by the lean solicitor of our empty rooms. This probably is part what we have been giving each other. The reasons I gave you that we have not been giving love each other, we have been giving hatred, for example, which is one of the parts. Okay? We have been giving deprivation, sense of loss, not gain, because we suffered. So this, in fact, brings into existence all those poems in which the sensual passion of life and the sense of fear in humanity has been articulated. If you go back to the love song of Pierre Petruchov, or even if you go back to Sweeney Erectus, the question is the same. I will definitely and directly go to the first point, love song of Pierre Petruchov. Prufrock requires. Prufrock is a character who doesn't have the courage to indulge, but he has a wish to indulge. In between the wish to indulge and the fear of indulgence and the consequences of that indulgence keeps him angry. So he looks like a character, not complete, not assertive, maybe because he didn't have the spiritual powers to indulge, he didn't have the faith, he was encircled by fear in his mind. So the typical context given was probably he was not in a position to make love with the lady one. It was, if you, I'm reminded of so many metaphorical images that Eliot has used. He is using a trouser with a folded end, as if he is in a ready condition to run away. And we have seen the projection and manipulation of his image and sensibility, the sense of fear and the loss of that give and take exchange. Just imagine in many other lovers. You remember the lady Judge's lover who came and always waiting for the dark and staircases to escape. You remember? These are all manipulations of the same image of Prufrock. Prufrock didn't have the courage to indulge in sensuality. He feared it, but that is that. So in between these two, he is angry. What have we given? My friend, blood shaking my heart. Blood shaking his heart is like the absolute passionate existence of modern man. It's very passionate. Blood is shaken by, the heart is shaken by the gush of the blood, which awkward daring of a moment to surrender. So, this is the question. You need to dare. You need to dare to surrender. But Prufrock didn't have the courage to surrender. And it was a matter of a moment's surrender. Of course, it is rooted in the sensual transaction that takes place between two bodies, falling in love with each other, in fact, not giving each other, taking from each other. As the fellow came, made love with the lady, yes. Without addresses also, you multiple images. So what have we given? My friend, blood shaking my heart. This is a desire for experience. maybe experienced as well. And awkward daring of the moment surrender. Awkward daring. It's in fact a fear. Fear of surrender. Surrender to what? Surrender to lust. Heart is bubbling with blood pressure. Heart, vicious, desire, lust. But there is a fear to indulge in lust. So he is almost a man not confident like that, with a vision of life, both male and female, but a man absolutely male, having no courage to indulge in the passion of lust. So he is impotent. Proof of looks impotent. That impotency has been narrated here in this exchange of love. What happened? His heart is full of pressure, standing in fact, blood is shaking his heart, awkward daring of a moment's surrender, but he doesn't have the capacity and the courage. He is fearful of that surrender to love. Which an age of prudence can never attain. That's the question that no span of time can really restrict him from. By this and this only, we have existed. So this has been our exchange. What have we given? For example, this is one example. What have we given? Have we given that passion that strong our heart? Probably not, because we wanted to, but we didn't have the courage. So the helpless condition of humanity is obvious. We have existed, which is not to be found in our obituaries or in memories draped by the beneficent spider. There are two beautiful images talking of we find echoes from Webster's White Pages. Two images are there, and you can understand it much better if you recall that image of a memory found in the bobbin. You remember that? Memory wrapped. That means in the bobbin of our existence, we are all memory wrapped. Now here the image in White David was that Flaminio feared death, and he believed that, remember, women are very faithless today. The first image, that the man was fearful, so full of passion, as proof of what, for example. So his heart was pounding with emotion, but he didn't have the courage to indulge in that. On the other side, he does not look within. He accuses the female part. He says, look, I do not indulge in lust because females are faithless, very transitory. They are fickle-minded, not going to adhere to our love. Why should I share my love with her? This right. And this is dignifiedly presented to the image of that grave where the body is buried. It says, look, my dear friend, why are you going to waste your power of love for a woman who will never remember you for long and will not wait at all for you? By the time, two images of death. One, the day the body is buried in the grave, it is not the same day on which it turns into soil. It takes time. It takes time to turn into soil. That is the time. It's not the same moment when a spider will come and weave a net around the grave. It will take time. It will take time. And give two images. The spider weaving a pattern of webs around the dead body. Now here we all are, other than that dead creatures, they are skeletons moving like ghostly creatures on the London Bridge. Remember the images. It is that our body is wrapped by the memory, stretches or strings woven by a spider. And remember, this is not possible within the span of time. It will take some time. And these ladies do not have patience till that time. So by the time our memory will revive a woven pattern around our dead body inside the grave, they will forget us. They will marry somebody else. Why should we waste our love for such women? Well, evidences are there because the typical observation of the Western perception of human relationships, broken enough, weak enough, we have seen earlier also. There are the whole section about the broken kind of personal relationships. during the Iraq war, the newspapers were full of such columns of discussion that the soldiers fighting in the battleground, their wives did not wait for their return from the battleground. They married somebody in marriage. It's an evidence. So the question is that this is the evidence. But the question is, it is a clinical object. When we reach the wasteland here in India, we do not subscribe to this opinion. Because I'm not making a comparison. It's a British absolute. People say that he is the Kalidasa of England and he is the Shakespeare of India. These are all political things. So this is how I'm not making a comparison. But the question is that we do not have that weaker fabric around us. Our memories are stronger enough that hold us together, and therefore there is no such lamentation. Here, the modern man in general doesn't have the confidence to waste himself. I'm using the word waste himself into that love or not, whatever you call it, because they believe that the women for whom they will dedicate themselves are not going to wait for them for long. They are restless creatures, fickle-minded creatures. So, Herminio, in Webster's White Beetle, makes a cynical statement about women's nature. I say cynical because this is not entirely subscribable. We cannot say that all women are sexless, all women do not have sexual support. We can't say so. But here is a question, that is a perspective of life, which is received from the image of Herminio's observations on women in the White Beetle. This is a line which has been critically gifted from White Beetle. In memories raised by a beneficent spider. Remember, they are not kind to us. They will forget us. And the only kind creature that will protect us will be the spider in the grave, because he will weave a pattern of cloth around us. That's the metaphor. That's the metaphor. That instead of covering us, protecting us, surrendering us, we are going to immortalize that particular moment of surrender by falling in love with a lady who probably is not going to be constant. There is a lack of constancy, that is one thing. There is lack of faith on the male part and the other, that there is no give and take in fact. It is all a transaction of lust. There is no love at all. So human condition here about the first message of Upanishad to give, it has fallen flat. We have not been giving at all. Even if we want to give, we are fearful of giving because we do not trust each other. We believe that my female counterpart, my lady love, will not wait for me at all. So by this and this only we have existed, which is not to be found in our obituaries after our death, or they will not even remember us in our obituaries also. So within no time they will forget us. Or under seals broken by the lean solicitor in our empty rooms. Lean solicitor, the spider probably is the only one solicitor, is the only benefactor, because he has the love for the dead body, who weaves a pattern of cloth around. This is not cloth, this is simple meaning that modern men and women do not remember each other. They meet and part as mechanical beings because their love is commercial, their love is mechanical. Okay? It's like the beating heart of a taxi engine. Nothing, all those images are there. Secondly, that is so. What have we been meeting each other? What humans have been? The emptiness prevails therefore. No such sense of life we are holding, because no such sense we are giving each other. We are simply empty creatures. Will remain empty because the only benefactor we can think of is the spider in the grave. The spider is not a positive image, it's a negative one. Therefore, the question of salvation and damnation, one positive, the other negative, always go side by side together. This is the composite vision of the day. It's a craving for salvation, no doubt, but the state of damnation is inseparable from the concept of salvation. This is how they need to get all the time. That is bad. So the other the, it was the meaning, the eco from Upanishad, and to find the meaning of this eco, when he looks towards the border wasteland, he finds this. We have not given, we do not give because we distrust each other, we fear each other. Just imagine. We have self fear, that is phobia. Okay? We are fearful as Rufa was fearful. He wanted to make love, but he was impotent. He didn't have the courage. Impotency is not a matter of physical inability, it's a matter of psyche. He didn't have the faith. So in order to highlight that gap between the two, the giver and the receiver, okay? And the sharp contrast of the perception that was there in Yeats and Frida and the swan. Because when the fertility takes place, even if it is in terms of rape, Frida and the swan is a description of rape, mind. But even in that description, there is a critical perception as to what was received and what was given. Even in this act, did she receive only the brutal strength and energy of the male, or did she receive the sweetness of the same soul also? The strength and sweetness combined together is the composite soul of humanity. So even in the case of rape, the question arises as to what was received and what was given. In reality, hatred was given, brutal passion was given, the heart that was throbbing with this passion. It wasn't love, it was only love. Okay? And therefore, it was ignorant. So that has been said. The message of Upanishad has been failed by the modern man, and so the modern man is deprived of that essence, spiritual essence and power necessary for survival and salvation. In other words, we need to practice this essence of datta, of giving, in reality for our salvation. Next, therefore, this was for the demons. Because the demons are cruel, they need to have kindness and compassion. When Eliot looks at the heart of this word Dayatma, he is reminded of a different physical figure. There is a reference to the 13th century nobleman, Ugolino. I will not let you know the myth. Ugolino was an old man who was put in a prison. A nobleman put in a prison along with his two grandchildren. Okay? And when he was put, the prison is locked. But you know, when you lock your room, you also unlock. When you lock, you carry the key. When you unlock, you carry the key again. But they will opposite direction. If there is a definition, there is transition. If one is locked, the other is unlocked. This old man, Ugolino, was locked in the prison, and he was trying to hear, waiting for the sound when the lock will be unlocked. But that sound he never heard. And so he says, look, I have heard the key is turning only once. Could you get it? Yes, sir. Could you get it? I have heard the key is turning only once, not twice. Because if it turns twice, the damnation will turn into salvation. That is not problem. So what kind of daya, what kind of damnation? Just imagine. It's a girl. Daya form. Look at this daya form. So you will know, was in the prison with his grandchildren, was expecting compassion from the prisoner, but it wasn't nice. So what does he say? He says, I have heard the key turn in the door once and turn only once. Once only, not twice. Why? The question is, why did not the key turn? Because the prisoner, the gatekeeper, did not hold the key with him. Once the prisoner is locked, the key is thrown in the sea or the river. You get it? What is this? Each one of us is basically locked in the prison of our ego. Okay, and the keys have been thrown in the water, in the deep sea, anywhere in the jungle. It has been lost. Okay, how can we come out of it? Can there be a possibility of a compassion? Even if there is, probably it will never fructify, will never come true because the keys are missing. Is that missing? So the man represents the predicament of modern, okay, who have heard only the keys coming only once, and there is no possibility of a return. Okay, and this is probably waiting and waiting and waiting for salvation. Endlessly waiting for salvation, as Sybil has been endlessly waiting for. So I will read the line, things will be clear to you. I have heard the key turn in the door once and turn once only. But this once only has a note of finality. It's final. Moderns are probably finally, perpetually locked in a state of damnation. Salvation. So we are craving for it. Instead of having compassion for others, we have locked each other into prisons. And the prisons are nothing but our own creation. We have locked ourselves in the prisons of our own egos, in our passions, and so we are. The other meaning is that you are denying communication. If you lock yourself in a room, there is no communication from the outside world. So it is not simply getting locked into the world of your ego, the enclosed campus of your ego, but also denying communication with humanity. So to me, it's emerged that moderns have no communication with each other, that moderns have locked themselves in their own individual prisons of egos of any kind, and therefore they are not having any body of salvation. They are condemned almost each other, and they have condemned themselves. So I have heard the key, heard in the door once and heard once only. We think of the key, each in his prison. Each one of us is in his prison. And you have, we have, I have thrown my own key into prison. Once only. We think of the key, each in his prison, thinking of the key. That is our condition. We are all dreaming of the key, waiting for the sound at the door. Somebody will come and turn the key again. So each in his prison, thinking of the key, each confirms the prison. We have testified to our own existence in prison, in which we have locked ourselves. Only at nightfall, if hearing the rumor to revive for the moment a broken folio then. Another thing. Coriolanus, in fact, was a brave man, a Roman general. Listen to this historical perception. Coriolanus fought for his country bravely, that is called Roman, and he defeated his enemies. Now, after he defeated his enemies, he became victorious. He came back home. He was celebrated. But he was angry with his own people because in the course of war, he noticed that the countrymen, the Romans, were not faithful to their country. He was very angry. Reasons were two. One, because he had a proud self. Some genuineness was there, no doubt, because he performed so well for the country. Victorious, celebrated, honored by the nation. But at the same time, he had a very inflated ego. So much so that he was angry with his own countrymen. He said, well, he was critical of them. So, when he was critical of his own people, people also criticized him, and his inflated ego was so much inflated again, further inflated, that he decided to give his own countrymen a lesson. So he joined again the company of the enemy, and from their side, he attacked his own country again, and he defeated his countrymen. He started butchering people, then suddenly his mother, his sister, they appear before him and say, please pardon your friends, your brothers and sisters here. Why are you so angry? So with the interference and the intention of the mother and the sister, his anger was cooled down and said, okay, I pardon you. So he again started living with his countrymen and the communists, the other provinces, there was kicked out. Then things started talking on safely, quietly. But whispers were there in the country because the enemies and the people, political rivals in the state, started accusing him that here is a person who was not faithful to us. He had already fought with us. And they criticized him so much so that again there was a bitterness because it is better to leave him. But when he was planning, he was killed. Now this is the question. This is the question. Shifting allegiances of man. Allegiance. Shifting allegiances of man have also put humanity in crisis. And we are faced with the perpetual question, where lies the real faith then? What is the true faith in the countrymen, or what is the faith that he had with his enemies was true? Which of the two was true? So allegiance and faithfulness, truthfulness and intensity, or you say the loyalty, genuineness of the feeling are in question. Compassion, they are one, they are. Sometimes he becomes compassionate because the mother and the sister requested him to be compassionate. He is the compassion. But what is the result of his compassion? He was betrayed by his own men and he was butchered in fact, he was killed by his own men. Compassion in our state of life is generally mistaken as a beautiful poem, a little bit different, but then it has shadows and shapes of it. So see, रंग को जिसके साथ सरल हो, नहीं उसे जो रंगहीन विहीन सरल हो, beautiful line written by Gandhari Kundikar. The great poet of India. When the snake, which doesn't have a venom, if the snake says, I pardon you, but क्षमा सोचती उस भुजन को जिसके साथ सरल हो, उसे नहीं जो रंगहीन विहीन सरल हो. He doesn't have a skin, he doesn't have venom. Well, that doesn't mean compassion is useless. It also means compassion is practice, witness. But actually, the essential value of this venom and compassion have been presented side by side. That's why he said, well, he trusted his countrymen, and they said, well, he pardoned you. He himself pardoned his countrymen, and then sought compassion from others, which ultimately resulted in his death. So this is a typical tragic mutation of compassion into cruelty, cruelty into compassion. It becomes very difficult to decide which of the two is more pain to humanity. So sometimes you become compassionate and your enemy feels to have to feel cruelty. And tomorrow he again betrays you because he is just you in the back. Could you get it? That's the question. That where should we be compassionate? Whom should we be charitable to? Some of them are crooked ones. Sometimes you feel not to give them a single penny to that fellow. When you think of the wretched of the earth, I'm using the term wretched of the earth, that is humanity, it is not compassion. But sometimes you feel your compassion is distressed because he takes money from you. But his eye was upside down, faced like a drowning man seeking your help. And in the evening you saw him buying cinema tickets. So I have heard the key, turned in the door once and turned once only. We think of the key, each in his prison, thinking of the key, each confronts the prison. That is our predicament. We have locked ourselves and we are still dreaming for the release. Well, why have you locked yourself? You are responsible. Could you get it? What's the meaning? Salvation is well within your hands, mind it, because both demon and God live in. Could you get it? Don't forget the essential premise that idiot had in his mind when he turned the whole hierarchy upside down. Because generally we put God at the top, human next, devils. But here things are different. So suddenly this hierarchy has a reason. And this articulates the condition of humanity in the modern system. Sorry, I will have to leave the class. Please mark the line. Please mark the line. I wanted to finish this poem.